All right, I got this pushed to my phone today, so I thought I'd talk about it. I'm actually really excited about it. I'm a huge Diablo fan, like a Blizzard fan. Obviously, I cover retro games. Things like StarCraft, games like Diablo, WoW Classic. These are formative games for me. Warcraft. So the article here, so it says Diablo 4's next update makes Season of Loot Reborn look like a hotfix. A new level cap of 60, new difficulty levels, and the return of runewords, all in Season 6. And this article here is by Jennifer Young. Thank you, Jennifer, for your beautiful article here. And about the leveling, so this was my big gripe about Diablo 4. It just feels like a super waste of time. Like I'm going to sit there, I'm going to go through 100 levels, and then finally I get to the good levels where things actually start to matter. That's annoying. That's a waste of my time. I'm an adult. I have a full-time job. Like I can't just sit here and go through 100 levels every season and like do that. I can level up each of the characters, sure. I mean, that's fun, but like with leveling, levels used to mean something. Like if you look at old school D&D, like both the tabletop and the CRPGs, like second, third edition era, especially, you can see the jump from level 1 to level 2 is substantial. The jump from level 2 to level 3 is substantial. You're going to get an extra feat, depending on your class. You're going to get extra hit points. Like when you're like in Baldur's Gate 1, when you're in Candlekeep and you go to the house and then the guy tries to kill you because you're Grind's ward, right? And he tries to assassinate you. You can get murked by that guy at level 1. You know what I mean? When you first walk out of the thing, you can get murked at level 1. But then, especially if you're like a fighter or something like that, on that next level, you get an extra 4 to 8 hit points, and then you can finally take a hit. Tanks actually start being a thing. And when you're leveling up in Baldur's Gate 1, you're only going to get to level 10, so, and those 10 levels, they seem substantial. Every one of those levels seems like it's something cool and something exciting. And I'm really excited that they've gone back in this direction. I was on the Diablo 4 forums, or that's the Blizzard forums, talking about this when the game launched. And everybody told me I was crazy. They said, oh, you're just a casual or whatever it is. And I was like, no, it's just not fun. It's not about it being casual or being hardcore. It's just not fun, and games, they should, to a certain extent, be fun. It shouldn't be a chore every time that you turn the game on. All right, so let's go ahead and read this article here. Let's go down here. All right, so the levels of 1-100 will now be split out. So the new max level will be 60. The difficulty will be split into normal, hard, expert, and penitent, then further torment difficulties to significantly increase rewards for significantly harder challenges. Similarly to pushing difficulty in the Helltide with the profane mind cages, you will be able to increase the difficulty to your level of ability across the game. Player health, damage, and armor will be adjusted to be more readable and easy to understand. They already came out with the Loot Reborn patch, and I thought the loot changes were amazing. It was just still boring and not fun to play, so I didn't really care about it as much because I'm not going to sit there and level 200 levels on a character 65 times. That's irritating. I just supposed to talk about one shot mechanics with bosses. That's been a huge gripe for this game as well. The pit is going to unlock at character level 60. So pit tiers associated with standard difficulty levels will immediately unlock, including Torment 1 pit tiers and 1 through 20. Pit tiers beyond 20 must be unlocked by progressing through the pit. Conquering a pit tier that matches a torment tier unlocks that torment tier. The highest pit tier is now 100 instead of 200, but this doesn't mean it'll be easier. Each tier will be harder. Exactly, because this is the thing. It's okay, if I tell you to pick a penny up off the ground 300 times, or I tell you to pick 30 pennies up off the ground 10 times, which of those is less irritating? Obviously if I'm picking it up penny by penny by penny by penny, That's irritating. I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? So if I'm picking up a whole stack of pennies and I only got to do that 30 times, that's a better use of my time. And I feel more like my time is being respected. So pit tiers, but beyond 20, we already did this part, sorry. The smart key is being introduced. So activity keys that drop make more sense. Ergo, if you're in Torment 3, the Infernal Horde keys will also be tier 3. That's good. That's a good change. Here we go. So itemization. So affix bans on all items have been adjusted, and items at the new level 60 character max out at item power 750. Levels 51 through 59, the character will offer significant item power jumps. See, that's fun. So now 0 to 50 is the real grind. You know what I mean? And then the 50 to the 60 is where you get up to the the more significant power jumps. And that's going to be a lower waiting time than the 200, unless they've made it to where the experience gain is like the same, regardless, then, that would obviously, if it takes the same amount of time, then that kind of validates my whole argument. But let's hope that's not the case. Sacred items no longer exist. That's interesting. Every ancestral item is now guaranteed at least one greater affix, and all items will be a jump in item power from 750 to 800. Ancestrals will have 2 tempering slots and will be master workable up to 12. A lot of people don't like the master working system. I thought it was really fun. I like rolling items like they're a slot machine, like, in Diablo 2, when you're sitting there with Geed with all your gold and you're just trying to roll over and over and over again for rings and amulets. Like, I don't know. I find that stuff kind of fun. That's just me. It's like playing a slot machine. Glyphs will now be leveling in the pit, not nightmare dungeons. That's interesting. Glyphs will now max out. Oh, wow. Glyphs will now max out at level 100. That's a lot. All glyphs as rare as rank 1 and update to legendary at rank 46. Glyph radius increases at ranks 15 and 46. Okay. So after 46, they basically start getting like legendary levels pretty much. When a glyph becomes legendary, it unlocks a significant multiplicative stat bonus. The new system is attempted based rank upgrade. So the success of an upgrade is guaranteed if your pit level is 10 higher than the glyph you want to level. If it's 20 levels, you have bonus ranks available. All right. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know why we needed to max out the glyph up there. It's kind of like extra work now for no reason. And then also too, I think both would have been better, right? If we could do the pit and we could do nightmare dungeons, or either or if I could just level my glyphs at like any content that I really wanted to do instead. I mean, that would be pretty fun, I think. Because I have this weird relationship with Diablo 4, because I'll sit there in Diablo 2 and do Pindle runs, and go through Kurast for runes and, for Zod runes. I must have done that like 6 billion times, but there's something about Diablo 4 that's just, it doesn't make me want to like run it over and over again. Maybe it's that there's not enough gear. I feel like, a lot of the upgrades that you get from Diablo 2 and before are like gear related, whereas now we have this, stuff we have the, the prestige levels. So I feel like this stuff has made like your character be more powerful, and then the gear is more like incremental upgrades on top of your Paragon levels. So it's a difference of like game design, I guess, but I definitely like a more Diablo 2-esque type situation. I like that a hammered in, it operates like a hammered in. You know what I mean? I like that, a fishy mancer like operates like a fishy. Like, I like the fact that, if you get a Boazon, like a Boazon is going to do what a Boazon does. You know what I mean? It's a difference in like design, I guess. But not necessarily. It just seems like work a lot of the times, and it kind of devalues a lot of the gear, which makes it to where like you feel less of that pull to go get good gear because it's not really like a huge upgrade anyway. Like once I can kill all the high rank shit, like why am I even grinding for gear anymore? Like, oh, so I can one shot bosses in front of everybody and be super cool. It's just you run out of content, where like in a season of Diablo 2, you're going to run your happy character, the character that you like the most. And then you're going to probably do like a sorceress or like a paladin as well. You're going to get them up. Gear sharing is another thing that Diablo needs to add. The fact that the gear is locked because like Blizzard is so scared of like not getting their hands on a few dollars that might like be in their way. Oh my God. Oh, we're going to lose out on like $15 because some guy sold a Zod rune. Oh, like because they're like that, like it devalues the thing of the gear. Like if I'm playing a season of Diablo 2, I can play a season of Diablo 2 and I can play as a fucking assassin or whatever. It doesn't even matter. I can play it as whatever I want. And then while I'm playing as that assassin, I don't have specific loot drops like World of Warcraft, right? I have open loot drops. So the whole loot table is available to me. So sometimes I'll be out there and I'll be doing a run. I'll be doing a cow run on Nightmare and I'll get a badass drop. Like not necessarily like a perfect and like a best in slot type of item, right? But I'll get a badass drop, like something like, wow, that's really interesting. Like this piece of gear is something that I could build this character around. And I'm going to take that piece of gear and then I'm going to roll a new character with it. And then now I have this sort of reason to engage with the game over and over and over again. Like I keep coming back to it because I keep finding these really interesting things that might do something really interesting. You know what I mean? Like the Necromancer, like finding all of the Trang set, and turning into a vampire, even though it's not like OP or anything. But there's just cool stuff like that that's baked into the game because it's a labor of love and it's not a labor of, grabbing people's cash. The Paragon points will be shared across the realm. So once you've earned all of your Paragon points on one character on a realm, for example, a seasonal softcore character, those Paragon points will be available across all alts on that realm. This means if you level another character to 60, the Paragon points you earned on your previous character will be available immediately once you hit that level cap. Each class will receive a new Paragon board in the update, so it's changing from 5 to 6. Each board has been tuned with the progression updates in mind and to help you focus on your glyph choices. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited about this part. And this part right here, just putting the level cap at 60, might make me try the game again. But this part, all this shit down here, like I'm not like super excited about it. It seems like a lot more work for me for no reason. And I don't like this at all. This upsets me. Like, why can't I just do both, dude? Like, just let me... What if I don't want to play the pit that night? Like, what if I get home and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do some Nightmare dungeons. Like, why can't I just do the Nightmare dungeons and still level my glyphs? Like, why are you forcing me to be places? Like, how is that fun? I don't know, man. It's like, if I'm doing a run, you can, on Diablo 2, like if I'm doing a run, you can do a run on Pindle over and over again if you just want to keep like glitching in and out of the game and just doing Pindle runs or doing meth runs or whatever. I always like to do it to where I would like just go through the acts and I would just hit all of them. So I just hit Andariel, you go, depending on where you are in the game, you go get Countess, then you're going to go up and you're going to go into, Act 2 and you're going to get Duriel, and then you're going to go up into Act 3 and you're going to go do a Kurast run, and then you're going to go, you know what I mean? And you just keep on moving along like that and then just do all the bosses in one sweep. And then that way you're always kind of just like grabbing stuff and it's varied. But in this, it's like, okay, so I got to level this glyph. Like, I'm not going to be powerful enough unless I level this glyph. So I've got to sit here now and I've got to level this glyph. Not in the content that I want to play. It's not the content I want to play, but the content that you want me to play, because for some reason you have this sick fascination with controlling what I do inside of the game that I paid for. Like, I don't get that at all, man. Like, that's like a crazy proposition. They should definitely change that. I guess we're tied right now. It's like a 1-for-1 right now. I'm happy and I'm upset. You know? So let's see if we can change the perspective here. So rune words. Rune words. Make your own spells. Runes of ritual specify actions from player to trigger. Runes of invocation grant powerful effects as a result. A rune of ritual and a rune of invocation must be paired together in an item with 2 sockets to form a rune word. Higher rarity runes will have more potent conditions or effects. The rumors were true. The beloved rune word system is coming back. All right, so let's look at this real quick. So runes will enable you to make your own spells. I'm not sure that's like runes coming back. Like, you didn't make spells with them. You put them into gear, and then the gear let you teleport and shit sometimes. You know, like I don't know. Yes, so the beloved rune word system is coming back, and they make spells. Like, no, they don't. That's not what they did, but that's okay. The runes of ritual specify trigger actions for the player, and runes of invocation grant powerful effects. A rune of ritual and a rune of invocation must be paired in a 2-socket item to form a rune word. Runes can only be paired with a rune of the opposite type. Runes will have levels of rarity. Runes will have levels of rarity. That's... You know, I started this off trying to make like a positive video about the level cap thing. And like, as I'm reading through this, I'm just upset again. What do you mean they have levels of rarity? Like, why do they have levels of rarity? They don't need that. Like, a Zod should be a Zod, bro. Like, a low should be a low. Like, we shouldn't have different rarities on rune words. Like, either the rune word is powerful or the rune word isn't powerful. Like, what is it? The tonality, like how I say the word, bro? Like, is it like if I say Zod, like that's fine, but if I go Zod, then that's like the legendary rune word, and then like the sacred one is like, or the ancestral at this point. If I'm like you know, Zod, you know, and then that's like the ancestral one. Like, what the okay, anyway, you can have a maximum of 2 rune words equipped. Oh, so these are like different. Yeah, see, they're retaining the soul of the original socketable components, but they do it in a new and fresh way that feels on theme with Diablo 4's modern... Oh, God. This is how you know it's going to... I might even play this guy's modern gameplay. That's how you know it sucks. Okay, so these are charms. These aren't rune words. They're charms. These are charms. These are... Oh, my God. Oh, I have a headache. These are charms, is what they are. These are, you put them in your inventory, or I assume they've added some kind of new slot to the character screen, and you put them in your inventory, and then they give you like extra powers. These are charms. These aren't rune words. Rune words go in gear, and they make the gear super powerful. And rune words, when you put them into the gear, the base, the thing that you're using to create it with the rune word, plays a part in how powerful that item is. You know, that's why it's cool. It's not cool because they're a fucking icon that's on your screen that does a thing, or like, that's not why that's cool, man. It's cool because you put it into the gear and you have to go hunt for the base. Like, I got to find like the perfect, what do you call it? The monarch, right? I got to find the perfect monarch, and I got to, get my perfect flail so I can make a hoto. That's the fun. Like, that's why people continue to play the game and come back to it. You know, that's why you don't have to force people to play a certain mode in Diablo 2. Otherwise they wouldn't play it. You know, that's why the game's not set up like that, because the game intrinsically makes you feel as if you want to play it. This is stupid. I don't know what else to say about that. Like, I'm not happy about this at all. I mean, it's cool. I guess, like, we get extra powers, and there's little things, and you can teleport, and do all kinds of weird stuff. Like, all right, that's cool, whatever. Necromancer can become berserk with a barbarian skill. I mean, that's fun, but why did we call it rune words when it's not rune words? Like, rune words has a definition, and that's from Diablo 2, and that's the actual good game that Blizzard made before all the developers left, and then we ended up with whatever weird skeleton crew that we have now working at Blizzard. Like, that's what that used to be. Jesus Christ. Damn. I really wanted to play this again. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and link this article in here so you can read through it. Let me know what you think. Do you think these changes are good? Which of these changes you think are good? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm just being an asshole? I don't know. Let me know. Otherwise, I love you guys.